No amount of competition success is worth what I just went through for the last 3 weeks.
His biggest thing is steroids.
See what happens when he's not on steroids? I'm like, no, I just had a surgery and I was dying for 2 months.
We're potentially losing arguably the greatest to ever do it.
What happened was you got staph infection. Henzo's in New York City was notorious for giving people staph.
It's caused by a bacteria. The infection can be life-threatening if it ends up in your bloodstream, bones, or other organs.
Basically, you take the antibiotics and it wipes out the good bacteria in your stomach. And then your immune system's trying to fix that. So then your immune system's low, it's not as strong as it usually is, and then you get staph again. And then you take more antibiotics, and then it wipes out your stomach even worse, so then your immune system's on overdrive trying to fix it, and then you get staph again.
You know, out of the 365 days in the year, I must have been on antibiotics for between 280 and 300 days. I was on antibiotics way more than I was not.
And it just wiped out everything in my stomach, like all the good bacteria, everything.
This soon would cause another problem entirely.
Days I would train 4 sessions in a row, and I'd get home and I'm like, I haven't eaten all day. How am I not hungry? I have 2 or 3 spoonfuls of soup, and I'd be like, I'm full and I'm nauseous. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
24/7 nauseous. Like, the best way I can describe it is the worst hangover you ever had, like where you want to throw up to feel better but you can't. That's like my baseline, and then it gets worse from there.
I couldn't even hold a conversation anymore. I was so nauseous.
Like, every time I walk into a room, I'd be like, oh, there's a garbage can in case I have to throw up.
This is so crazy, bro.
I went to all the best doctors in the country, and they're just useless. They just, oh, we'll do an endoscopy. I had one guy do a colonoscopy, and they're like, yeah, you look fine.
He would endure for 3 years while remaining undefeated for 32 matches in a row until he couldn't take it anymore.
Finally, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore.
How tough was that for you to have to give up what was looking like such a promising career at such a young age?
Oh man, it was the worst.
A friend suffering from a similar problem throws him a lifeline.
He's like, you got to go to Dr. Rabar in California. So he did a bunch of tests that no one's ever done.
I think it was mycotoxins from mold.
My levels are way off.
0 to 5 was normal, and then 5 to 10 was moderately high, and then I think over 10 was high, and mine was 555.
What?
I was 50 times what I was supposed to be. I had H. pylori, I had a bacterial imbalance in my stomach, I had a huge, massive fungal overgrowth in my small intestine, and I had mold poisoning from somewhere. So I had 4 different things. I had to treat them all.
Now I've been on treatment for a year and a half, and everything's back from way in the red into the yellow category. So he said another year and a half, 2 years, I should be back to normal. And I'm just like, okay.
He goes back to competition in 2022.
I was just gonna do ADCC 2022 and then stop competing, but I wanted to make everybody happy. And I kind of just got cocky and got rolled back into competition right away.
I went to Abu Dhabi, and back from Abu Dhabi, I had strep throat. And I thought it was just gonna be a simple strep infection, go away. Well, it was an antibiotic-resistant strep throat.
His throat was shut tight, and his ears became so inflamed that he felt his head would explode.
I was sick for a month and a half with strep. I was on antibiotics for 45 days straight. Then it finally cleared up. They thought that I had it colonized, and they wanted to take my tonsils out, which they did, but then they looked up my nose and they saw that I had a badly deviated septum. So they did deviated septum and tonsillectomy at the same time. And then I couldn't eat. Obviously, everyone saw that viral picture of me not being able to eat and being 200 pounds after I did the surgery.
A lot of your competitors are out there talking trash when they put up those gifs and those pictures of you sick and then you when you're all yoked out. Does that piss you off or
No, because they know when I come back, it's gonna be trouble.
Finally better, he comes back to competition against Patrick Gaudio.
I'm ready to get back out there to show people why I'm who I am.
Sadly, the good days wouldn't last long.
I knew that when I did the 45 days of antibiotics before I had my tonsils taken out, that it set me back, but I figured that I made it through months later, but the fungal infection and bacterial imbalance was kind of working its way back in. Just trying to get healthy now, it's my main priority, and then hopefully once I'm healthy, I'll be able to come back and compete.